This week we haven't had much going on in the fish room. I've got a couple spawn failures and some successes. Let's take a look. First off, we've got my double dark Pinoy eggs. Usually they hatch in 3 days. Here we're on day 5, and a number of eggs still, they haven't turned white, but not too many have hatched. I've pulled out the ones that dropped off of the slate, and I'm not finding too many wigglers. This jar here has a whole big cluster of a couple hundred. I just swirled the water around, get them to a clump, see if any wigglers swam out of the clump, but not too many. I pulled 3 out of this entire slate of eggs. So they're having a lot of trouble. These are what's left of the Corydoras eggs, that whole slew of them that I pulled from the tank earlier this week, and none have hatched. Like in this one I had more of the methylene blue, but the eggs aren't fungus, don't have that hair growing on them, but they never hatched, which is bizarre. I could blame the male for not fertilizing these eggs properly, or perhaps I pulled them too soon and he hadn't fertilized them all, but the way the Corys do it, I don't know how they weren't fertilized or why they died off. Anyway, so we got 3 double dark Pinoys in there someplace. I don't know if the camera will focus in on such a tiny. Now, I'm going to try raising them in this Marina box, since I don't want to set up a whole big sponge kit for them. These Corys haven't done anything new. I have this tank just bare, making sure none of the ram's horns eggs hatch and come out. There's pepper Corys, a few assassin snails to clean out. I scrubbed the tank down, looked over every inch for the egg pods from the snails. It all looks good. But when we come over here, this morning, I found this little egg shell from a ram's horn. How, when I've cleaned and scrubbed and emptied this whole tank, I'm not sure where it came from, how it grew to be that big, if it hatched from an egg or what, but the assassin snails took care of it. The only thing I can think is perhaps this overflow filter contraption. No, because I had the old Joey model, so that is new with this new setup. So yeah, I don't know where this lone snail would have come from, but anyway, the angels are all doing real good. You can really tell the veils from the standard thin ones. Let's see, there's 2 gold on the left are the standard, and this one on the right, or this one in front of it, looks to be veil. But yeah, here they are, a month and a half old, and just now starting to get used to me. When I come in, at times they'll come to the front begging for food. So it's taken them a long time to get their character and everything. One of the interesting things is all this algae that is built up in this tank. I have a shop light here from Walmart and it seems to be algaeing up the back and bottom really good compared with the other tank that has a Shopko LED, or Costco LED, has just a tiny bit of algae forming on it. So I may have to rearrange these lights and bring this other Costco light on this side and put these Walmart lights up above. Well, this is the same Costco light. It came as a set, and up here it's generating plenty of algae in these tanks, but down below not too much. The shrimp will take care of this tank pretty well. Oh, and then last night the koi angels laid their eggs. It had been quite a while, about 12 days since they laid. Then I remembered I put this other male in here to help cycle this tank and everything, and I didn't have a partition between them with the slate on that side, so I guess they were scared to lay eggs. I put up this partition Friday, and then Saturday they laid the eggs. So that's something else I have to keep in mind. Now I want to move the Pinoy pair into this tank. Got the gray background instead of the black so I don't lose them. You know, it's easy for them to blend in with the background, especially when they're facing forwards, and much slimmer profile. And then once some more pair up from the living room tank. I know there's one female that's laid eggs a couple times with that marble. I could pair her up with the platinum male down here, but putting it through the genetics calculator stuff, and it winds up with like 20 different variants. So I'm not sure I want to do that. I could do it just as a test to ensure that she can produce viable eggs, but I'm sure she's young. There'll be plenty of time for that. And this snail or shrimp tank still clouds up. I'm not sure if this is green water. It's not the same color as a tank that previously turned green. So I'm not sure what to do. There's nothing special going on in this tank. It's just a sponge filter, just like this one, but it seemed to turn this way after I removed the guppies. So I'm not sure how having, 4 or 5 guppies in here stabilized it, and now it's gone unstable and clouded up. But the shrimp are doing well, multiplying with no more threats. Over here, the red mosaic guppy male and this yellow female. Still no fry. It's been 3 months or so. She's still, I put them together for like 2 months. But yeah, she doesn't seem to want to mate up with him, or he's unable to do the job with her. So one of these days, I'll get some more red mosaics from Guppy Train, and then I'll be able to have my own clan of the best guppies in the world. Here are the males that I'm not using for any breeding projects right now. They just chase each other. more Paleatus down here. I may put list a few of them on Aquabid, because I've got 5 or 6 in here, another 6 or 7 in this tank, this tote, and this is my old crew. What is it, 3 of them, 2 females and 1 or 2 of the males. I lose track of it, were the original Paleatus I got close to a year ago. I think it was in August. They produce plenty of fry, but they haven't since come into this tank. Hopefully once I make sure all the ram's horns are gone, I'll sand and plant it, and we'll be back up and running there. Let's see if we can. Oh, there's one of the wigglers. Wiggle. Oh, there he's wiggling his tail a little bit. That one there. One here. But anyway, like I said, there's only 3, so that's disappointing. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with a better way to raise these double dark Pinoy, because the couple times they ate the eggs just a few hours, like 3 to 4 hours after laying them. If he's not fertilizing, may need a longer. So I'll let them maybe raise the next batch or 2. Since I've got 1 batch of koi fry, this batch in the jar, and here's 100 or so. They're raising up real well, starting to get their vertical height, round up more like angelfish. So I got those 2. I may let them try to raise their own eggs too, for both these pairs lay every 8 or 9 days. So if something should happen to one of these koi spawns and I lose them, it'll be easy enough to come back with them. That's about all I have going on here in the fish room. The brine shrimp putting out plenty every couple days. Got a second one I had there, and want to set up a third one and keep them in rotation for all these angel babies. Oh, and the wingless fruit flies have exploded. There's, I don't know, 100 or something in here. A little bit of mold had formed, but after one failed batch here, it's turned, what's this one? Yeah, turned completely moldy, and they all died off. Well, they died off before it molded. So I've got another batch. I'll need to separate 20 or so of them for the next spawn. And that's about all I got going this week. Alright, so I'll see you next time.